in the West Valley and happening today. Luke Air Force Base's 56th Fighter Wing will be taken to the skies over 14 cities. It's all to celebrate America's independence, which I love. And this morning we have a special guest, 56th Fighter Wing Deputy Commander Colonel John Ryan. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Allison. It's a pleasure to be here.
I am so excited about this. So I live in the West Valley, and seeing the flyovers, even when you guys are just training, is one of my favorite things that happens out there. And now so many people are going to get to see this. Now, it's a massive event, takes a lot of planning. What goes into it?
Yeah, so that's a great question. You're absolutely right. It takes a ton of planning. And truthfully, it takes months and months of time in order to make this happen. From when our cities make the official request through the official process, we get all that data. Our flyers then take that data and they try to figure out, okay, how do we hit all of these different cities at the times that are requested and the directions that have been requested in order to give the folks on the ground the best show possible. But that's just a part of it.
I was gonna say, yeah, what about the planes?
Yeah, well, so there's the plane aspect of it, but then there's really the whole, we'll call it the enterprise, that is Luke, that has to be energized in order to make this happen. From our defenders on the ground at the gates in order to make sure that the base is safe, to our airfield folks who have to open up the airfield, our air traffic controllers who have to come to work in order to control the airplanes, and then really it's our maintainers as well, whose job is to prep and generate the airplanes that folks are going to see later on today.
Yeah, I mean, I had a chance to go out there when you guys were preparing for the Super Bowl, and just what goes into, right, because you think about that, there's resources that are taken away to do that, so you got to kind of redistribute everybody around or bring people in.
Yeah.
And so, but this is going to be incredible. Like we said, this flyover happening, and I want to know a little bit about the pilots who are involved in this. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, so the squadron, we have four pilots that are going to be flying today, and they are all part of the 308th Fighter Squadron, the Emerald Knights. But I think what really makes this, I think what really makes this unique though, is that we have pilots from each, the 56th Fighter Wing, which is the active duty component, and then the 944th Fighter Wing, which is our reserve component. And so the way we operate at Luke, which is really what makes us as effective as we are, is this very tightly connected, interwoven, what we call total force integration, or TFI, where the active duty and the reserve component operate seamlessly in order to make the mission happen. So you're going to see pilots from both the active and the reserve component today.
I love this, getting to see them in there. I mean, what is your favorite part about seeing this and doing things like this? Because I could only dream of it, and I may have had the opportunity in the past. I'm trying to think of go up there, and I just couldn't do it. I'm too much of a scaredy cat.
It is, I tell you, even on my worst days, where it's just not a good day for whatever reason, if I walk out the door at the end of the day and I see the jets flying, I think, man, I've got such an incredible opportunity to be able to do this. It really is just, it's a fun but challenging job that keeps you on your toes.
I know, I can feel the passion, you know, you have for it, still radiating from you. So this is why you do not want to miss these flyovers that are going to be happening. Can you tell us about where and when we can catch them?
Yes, so later this evening, I believe starting shortly after 6 o'clock, 6:15 I think is our first one, where we're going to start in Peoria, I believe is the first city.
Yeah, looks like we got it out here.
Yeah, they're going to make if you look at the cities that are up there, it's almost like an inner loop first around the city.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
And then they're going to make a little bit more of an outer loop, starting in the West Valley, going up through Phoenix to Mesa, and then kind of down around the south, out towards Buckeye, and then up as far north as Prescott and Payson there before they come back home.
How lucky to be able to do that and head out there, and so that they can get in on this too, not just the Valley. I love this. Okay, so before we let you go, now you know where you have to be, when you can see them, right? But how do we get the best view? Can you give us any tips?
So the best view, if you want to see them in the tight formation, would be at the location where that particular city is having their event. Right? But while we hit everybody that made the official request this year, there will be opportunities to potentially see them transiting from one location to the next. So if you can kind of look at the cities that we're going to hit, the order that we're going to hit, you can kind of put together the flight path. And if you can't make it to that location, you may be able to see them transiting from one spot to the next.
Oh, this is so cool. This is something you don't want to miss. Like I said, there is nothing like hearing the roar of the jets overhead when you guys are doing this. You guys are just the best. Thank you so much, Colonel John Ryan. I appreciate it for being with us here on 12 News Today in AZ.
Thank you for letting me come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, Emma, my gosh.